Ladies and gentlemen, we got some brand new news connecting RLUSD to Coinbase. We also have a ton of insiders now coming out saying the third best crypto to have besides Bitcoin and Ethereum is, of course, XRP, because the XRP army. You got to hear this clip. I also have Chris Larson towards the end and some Lawman clips as well. But let's start with this clip.
But first, let's hear
Crypto Eerie just posted.
Hear from Reese Merrick, and I have a clip that actually almost nobody has seen. It had under 100 views, and he talks about the numbers, some surprising numbers with the RLUSD. That would be the stable coin that's going to be used for the cross-border remittances. Have a listen.
I think as the cross-border payment world evolves, I think stablecoins are becoming a key part of that. If you think of the total amount of cross-border payments that are made, 50% of them are actually settled in dollars, and a lot of those payments are settled outside of the US. Therefore, being able to settle payments in a USD-backed stablecoin really, get away from some of the inefficiencies that we see in USD cross-border payment settlements at the moment. We launched RLUSD back in the last year. We've seen that move up to 300 million market cap and daily volume of $10 billion. So we're seeing some good traction there.
Daily volume of 10 billion is pretty juicy. I hope that clip is not some type of censored on YouTube. I do like the beat though. Give me a good techno beat and I will dance to it. All right, so here is something that Matthew Liny posted. Ripple, Alchemy, Coinbase, RLUSD. Says we have announced a partnership between Alchemy and Ripple that could essentially allow people to access Ripple's US-backed stablecoin using payment methods that I know about, like credit cards, Apple Pay, and JP Morgan filing for trademarks for what I guess people are speculating maybe to its stablecoin. Maybe it's JP Morgan stablecoin. The fate of the SEC and Ripple settlement and the permanent injunction we've got. Last but not least, Coinbase seeking SEC approval for tokenized equity. A lot of really unique and cool things happening here. It's always great when one of the biggest exchanges in the world is working in the background on, pushing forward RLUSD. We need to get this volume from 10 billion to 50 billion to 100 billion, and then really we can start cooking. I also wanted to see what other type of benefits maybe are in this little thing that I don't know, maybe a little bit extra context for you. It talks about Ripple, the blockchain company. We already know all this. Of course, the legal clarity. We are going to get a ruling here, hopefully in the next 30 to 60 days. I did a video on that yesterday. Here is some information on Alchemy Pay. They announced the partnership will allow people to access Ripple-backed stablecoin using mainstream payment methods. We did do a video on this last week, so this is not super new news, but it's really great to see more information being posted online about this. This integration enables users in 173 countries to purchase RLUSD. If that is not bullish, I don't know what else to show you here, folks. You also have Rasan posting this information. So many documents from the Big Four and the IMF and the BIS showing that Ripple and XLM, or of course XRP and XLM, are going to be the two most used, either stablecoins for cross-border payments or bridge assets for cross-border payments. You also have some extra juice here from Crypto Eerie, of course. She says the secret sauce for RLUSD and XRP bridging between various stablecoins is client pool, solving price swings during a swap. The system addresses price swings in the digital asset to ensure the agreed upon exchange rate is honored. When you trade money like dollars for euros using their app, it uses a digital coin to make the swap instantly. Sometimes the value of that digital coin can wiggle a bit during the trade, which might mean you get slightly more, slightly less than expected. So if you have any movement in the stable coin as you're sending it or processing that payment, this will make up for it. To fix this, Ripple's system keeps a stash of digital coins called a client pool or slippage balance at the exchange where the trade happens. If the digital coin's value changes and the amount you get doesn't match the promised rate, pulls from or adds to this stash to make up the difference. For example, if you're supposed to get 100 euros, but the digital coin's value drops, the system adds extra coins from the pool to ensure you get the full 100 euros. This keeps the trade fair and sticks to the guaranteed rate so you don't lose out due to the price swing. So this is really unique and cool technology. Love to see these advancements, and make sure that you're following Crypto Eerie. There probably isn't someone better than her finding some of this alpha here out in the crypto space. So Big shout to her channel. All right. And Digital Asset Investor did post this. Stablecoins are entering a new utility phase. Let me play this.
Corporations, however, see big potential for stablecoins. The IPO of Circle, which is the issuer of USDC, unlocked billions of dollars in pent-up demand for these issuers. After raising $1.1 billion during its debut on June 5th, the company's stock soared more than 700% just in June. Then, new Circle partnerships and competition quickly followed. A stablecoin product launches from crypto exchange Coinbase, Shopify, French bank Societe Generale, and payments platform Fiserv quickly hit the headlines.
We're entering the utility phase right now, where the technology has matured. It's gotten fast, it's gotten cheap, it's gotten easy to use, and that's leading to real-world adoption across businesses and consumers. And stablecoins are at the forefront.
And stablecoins are at the forefront. Remember, if USDT Tether can't get an actual audit to show the US government that they in fact have the reserves to back up their stablecoin, they will not be allowed to use their technology inside of the United States. Now, what does that look like? I really don't know. This is going to be a very interesting time in our lives. Obviously, if Tether wants to stay relevant, they want to stay in the American market where a lot of the value is. They're also having a problem in the European market. So we'll see what Tether decides to do. But RLUSD, Ripple, and of course, Circle is looking like the two best picks for institutions, right? Because you got to think about this. Yes, Ripple was using USDT, but really outside of the United States. Now that you're having this stablecoin regulation come in, Ripple is, they work on compliance first because they understand who their customers are, their institutions, financial market infrastructures, those types of things where compliance is at the top of mind for everybody that works in these banks or these credit unions or whatever type of financial institutions. Anyways, as I can get carried away on all of this because it's just so much fun. Here is that institutional insider talking about the 3 best cryptos to hold. And of course, you know what number 3 is. Now, I want you to think about this really quickly before I play this. As adoption, comes around and these 50 million people that own Bitcoin start to understand like, hey, Bitcoin's a great store of value. Where's the utility at though? They're going to start buying Ethereum. They're going to start buying XRP. They're going to start buying SUI and HBAR and all these other assets. People just need to find out about it. They need to catch up. Think about how much time that you've put into understanding XRP or any other type of asset. Now think about your friend that doesn't know anything about what's about to happen with stablecoins or institutions using cryptocurrency to move value at the speed of light. This is going to be an incredible time for you and I because we were here first, and everybody that comes in after, we will beat them to the punch. We will have lower entries on our buys, and we will, in the end, hopefully come out of this retired. I think that's what everybody here wants to do, have some type of different or better life. Money can't buy you everything, but it sure can buy you a lot, and it would give you enough security where, you could make some of those decisions. Maybe stay home, play video games. I don't know what you like to do. Maybe paint. Try to figure out what I would do. Anyways, let's get back to this.
I'm looking at your list of tokens. Obvious, Bitcoin, Ethereum, most likely leading the way in terms of activity. You got XRP in there, Solana. When you look at the tokens right now, what's the top ones? What are people trading and holding the most, outside of Bitcoin and ETH? Because we know those are the big ones.
Yeah, surprisingly, there is a very strong XRP army out there, and they are fanatical about it. And the potential for XRP, we speak to Ripple often. We think they're amazing and sharp people. They have some innovative products coming down the pipeline. We'd love to work with them at some level to allow the XRP army, these fanatics that really are excited about the potential to do more with their XRP. So That's a big one.
Do you mind being called a fanatic? I don't know. Is that kind of a derogatory term? Or, he's saying it in a nice way because we are committed here. We're committed to learning. We're committed to growing. We're committed to understanding what the future is going to look like digitally. And we want to be a part of that. We want to take the risk of possibly owning the next financial system or a piece of it. And that's what you're doing with crypto. A lot of this stuff isn't going to make it. Let's be honest. But the stuff that gets through, the stuff that's being used by institutions or will be used on a massive scale by institutions, that is going to set the tone for the next 10 or 20 years. Woohoo! Exciting. All right. Meta Lawman he said they nails the ending SEC versus Ripple case before it was announced. Let's play a little bit of this. I don't want the video to go too long.
Let's not forget, it was a victory. It was celebrated as a victory. And my hope is, my guess is they will put it to bed pretty quickly.
Yeah. So that I was going to say, so that's your final thought there. You think this gets, what do you think happens here? Do you think they both drop the appeals and the case is officially over for good? We're done here. Do you think that happens?
Yeah, when appeals are dismissed, they are dismissed with prejudice. You can't rebring them. To me, the one delay will be the question of whether the SEC must hold another vote, because this is a different settlement. It's a better settlement for the SEC, keeping the injunction, presumably keeping the $125 million. Caroline Crenshaw will still vote against it. But nevertheless, that may delay things. But I can tell you, there's no way the SEC wants to continue with their appeal because they do not believe in the arguments. It is not their position that trading on the secondary market is a bunch of free-floating investment contracts that are secured. It's ridiculous. It was always ridiculous. And so they're not going to pursue that. I'm 99% certain of that, but it may require a vote. And, that could be a few weeks, couple weeks, whatever. And Alderati and Garlinghouse have been thinking about this forever. What do we do if Torres, it's not like I'm the only one who figured out this ain't going a good direction, so what do we do? I think they're probably pretty close to ready. Yeah. And I think the ready is to pull the plug on that appeal and not pursue it for another year and a half.
And I
Meta Lawman. Oh, here, let's just finish Brad Kimes.
I would like to remind people the SEC sued Amazon, the SEC sued Microsoft, and the SEC sued Tesla. And they're all doing fantastic now.
Tesla, not so much. I mean, they could be doing a lot better. Obviously, they've done incredible things over the past, few decades or whatever, how long they've been in business. Obviously, sales are hurting right now for them. And I don't know how all of that's going to work out. So anyone that owns Tesla stock, my heart is with you, and I hope it works out for you. All right, I want to save this, because there's a few clips from Chris Larson. I want to put it all together in one video, give you my feedback and my opinion as we're going through this. And I don't want this video to drag on too longer, but I did want to highlight, anytime I see somebody in the XRP community that I don't know who this person is, but, they're out here smiling on a Sunday. They're showing off some cool things here with Ripple and Times Square. And I thought, hey, let's give this person a platform to show you how excited they are about what's happening here. Let me show you this.
Good morning.
Oh, shoot. There's a song playing. I cannot show you the song. I forgot the song. Anyways, this guy's hyped. He's circling in Times Square. I've never been to Times Square, but it looks pretty cool. But see all the billboards? And then he's highlighting this billboard right here. I wish I could play it for you. I'll put it in the description of the video if you want to listen to this, but Ripple, it's happening. Look how big this is. It's so cool, man. So cool. All right, guys, have a good week ahead. Appreciate you. If you made it to the end, please let me know. I love you the best. Thank you so much for your support. We're getting to a whole new era of what this is going to look like, and I'm so happy you're with me on this journey. Aloha. Nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. Please seek financial advice if you need it. Let's get back to the video.